Hey guys, welcome back to our weekly online art lesson. My name is Neil Young and I'm the administrative assistant here at the Southern Allegheny Museum of Art in Altoona. Like we got started last week, we are focusing on the William Rao collection. These are two pictures within the collection that is on display here at Altoona. I thought I would just give a brief little intro and show you the gallery. This is the Wolf Gallery, which we will have this on display for a little bit longer. Like I said last week, I really urge everyone to come and check out this show after quarantine is lifted. So, with that being said, let's get started. Today, we are going to be focusing on Andy Warhol once again. Anyone who might have tuned into our very first lesson will remember that we did the Campbell's Soup lesson. This is going to be a little bit similar, but we're going to elaborate a little bit more on him, and I'm just going to give a brief introduction, so if anyone missed that first lesson, they won't be behind. So, like usual, this is Andy Warhol. So, in 1961, Andy came up with the concept of using mass-produced commercial goods in his art. This was called pop art, if some of us might remember from our first lesson. He used commercial images and reproduced them over and over. One early example of this series was the Campbell's Soup can, which we did in our first lesson. In one painting, he actually had 200 Campbell's Soup cans repeated over and over to make one body of art. I think that's incredible. The repetition of 200 images is just mind-boggling. So Andy often used silkscreen and lithography to create his pictures. Silkscreen sort of allowed him to reproduce easily without having to actually draw each image. The process of silkscreen is basically, if you have a graphic t-shirt, that was probably silkscreened. So Andy didn't just use commercial art, he was also very influenced by famous people. So he used pictures of famous people. He would repeat the same portrait over and over, but use different colors and effects in the same picture. Some of the celebrities that he had as subjects include Marilyn Monroe, Elvis Presley, and Elizabeth Taylor. Over time, Andy eventually became a famous celebrity himself. He opened up a new studio that was called The Factory. He not only worked on art there, but he had large parties with wealthy and famous people. He had rock stars, movies, celebrities, anyone you could think of showed up at these parties, which that really helped him sell a lot of his artwork and make a lot of connections. But Andy Warhol was just a different type of artist. While many artists focus entirely on the art with no interest in personal fame or fortune, Andy wanted to be rich and famous, like many of us. Some artists accused him of making art in order to make money. However, the images he had created become iconic American culture. His paintings have grown in value as well. One of his portraits, called 8 Elvises, sold for $100 million in 2008. I can't even imagine that amount of money, but it's breathtaking if you happen to see this in person. This is a section within the Elvis series. As you can see, he actually did both color, and then he actually did a black and white silkscreen where Elvis sort of became blurry the more he printed it. Despite having a lot of money because of his artwork, Andy was also credible for bringing art to the masses. He would mass produce prints of his artwork so it could be affordable to everyone. He truly believed in everyone being able to purchase his artwork and making it easy to come by. So, like last week, we focused on the Campbell's Soup can, and I showed you some of his repetition series. So for today, we're actually going to be taking inspiration from this picture right here. This is Marilyn Monroe, and it was one of his most famous pieces. So we'll just look at a few more for inspiration. As you can see, he never used traditional colors. He loved to play with the makeup, the lips, the background, and make them really random colors, so it just sort of caused an illusion. And for today's lesson, we're going to create something very similar to this. This is inspired by the Marilyn Monroe piece. So, let's get started. First, we need to draw a square. So on your paper, draw a very large square. And then once we have the square, we're going to draw lines intersecting it, both horizontally and vertical. Hey Mary, thanks for joining us. So like always, feel free to use a roller, a pencil, marker, crayon, anything you have laying around your house. And it doesn't have to be perfect, so I'm not even going to use a roller for this one. I'm just going to freehand it. So then we're going to have a square, something like this. And we're going to go in with a marker to make it a little more visible for you guys. All right, so now we have a square. Next, we're going to find the middle of the top. We're going to draw a dot, something like this. And then we are going to go right below it and put another dot. Now we're going to connect those two dots. So we have something like this. And then we're going to turn our page over and we're going to do the same thing. Sorry about that, guys. So once again, middle dot, one here as well. All right, so then we have something that looks sort of like a window. So, like I said, he liked to draw a lot of famous people, but for this, we can be inspired by anyone. We can try drawing our parents, ourselves, a funny cartoon, anything you want. So, pick up a marker or crayon, and let's get started. So I'm going to start up here in the first corner. And I'm going to start by drawing almost a cartoon character. First, we always have to start off with the nose. So we have something like that. And then we will draw the eyes. So that's what we have so far. And then the mouth. So then we have a face that sort of looks like that. Now for the eyes. Sorry, the light keeps coming off. Our lights in this gallery are actually timers. So I apologize if it comes off. But next we're going to focus on the pupils within the eye. Now, most of the time you have a glare, so we're going to represent that by drawing a little circle in the corner. And then we're going to proceed to just draw a black pupil in the very middle. So it will look something like this. Next, we need eyebrows. So we're just going to draw some lines here. Looks something like that. Now, I think that we have a pretty good start to our face. So let's then focus on drawing the head. We're gonna start at the chin, give him a little bit of a chin, and then go outward and almost draw a circle around what we already drew. So we'll have something like that. Now at this point, I think I'm gonna draw a boy for this one. So I'm gonna draw some spiky hair. Feel free to draw any hairstyle that you'd like, but I think this guy's gonna look good with some spikes. So then we have a face that looks something like that. From there, we can see that he sort of has a little bit of her neck and then her shoulders. So let's do that. We'll start by drawing the neck, which is just 2 lines coming down from the chin. We'll draw the collar to the t-shirt. And then the t-shirt. So this is the start to the first picture. We have the outline and we'll just have to color that in. So now we have 3 more boxes available to draw any cartoon characters that we would like. Like I said, base them off of people that you know. You could even draw your cat or dog or anything like that. I think I'm just going to continue with these weird cartoon characters and let's see what we get. So here is my second character. Who are you guys drawing? Like, are you inspired by a famous celebrity like Andy Warhol, inspired by your family, or are you just using your imagination for these characters? This would really make a good Mother's Day gift. You could draw your mom 4 times. And have fun with this, you know, make the expressions on the face funny. This guy kind of looks a little mad. And depending on how you make the eyebrows and stuff, is actually going to show the emotion within the characters. So pay attention to the facial features. So this is our third character. And for our last character, I'm going to draw a little sleepy character. A good way to show that a character is sleeping is if you actually not close the lid of the eye, but just draw the bottom section, and it almost looks like he has his eyes closed. Okay, so then we are done with our outline. So the next step would be to color in each one of these pictures. So grab your crayons, markers, and let's get started. Make sure to be careful and not go out of the lines. For this guy here, I think I'm gonna make his skin blue. Like you can see Marilyn Monroe right here. Next, I'm going to draw the hair. So do you guys really like Andy Warhol's style? Feel free to comment that in the section, in the comments. And I'm just gonna grab a few more markers to finish this piece. Alright, so I think I'm going to do the background of this one in a purple. Since we used red and blue, together those colors will create purple. Alright guys, so there is our first character fully drawn and colored in. As you can see, it sort of resembles Andy Warhol's Marilyn Monroe. So continue on drawing in the rest of these pictures, and make sure to use different colors than you did in the very first one. But when you are finished, please post a picture in the comments. I would love to see what you guys have created. And I will be teaching another art lesson on Tuesday and Thursday as well. So we'll see you then, and thank you for tuning in.